Hello students. So now today I am going to start with the rural urban composition. Now let's go. Now the division of population into rural and urban is based on the residents. Okay. This division is necessary because rural and urban lifestyle differs from each other in their livelihood and social conditions. So with that we divide them in basically on the basis of the livelihood and the social conditions. So rural urban is being divided on the basis of the residents. Now the age, sex, occupational structure, density of the population and level of development varies between the rural and the urban areas. Okay. Then comes the criteria for differentiating rural and urban population varies from country to country. So the criteria for differentiating the rural and urban population varies on the basis of the countries. In general term, rural areas are those where people are engaged in primary activities, and urban areas are those where the majority of the working population is engaged in the non-primary activities. Now you can see a figure. I will show you a figure. See this figure. It is basically showing the rural and urban. These dashes are the rural and these boxes are the urban. And it's showing the female per thousand male over here, and it is showing the countries over here. So in the Finland you can see that the female ratio, you can see in the female per thousand male, because it's showing the females are more in working in the urban areas than the male in the country Finland. Then comes the country Canada. See, the females are working more than the male. So the male are working in the rural areas. Then comes New Zealand. The same goes on. Then comes Brazil. Brazil also shows the same. In Zimbabwe, you see that the females are working in the rural areas more than urban areas. In Nepal also, it goes as like Zimbabwe. So these are the countries which is depicting the females or males in their rural and urban activities. So let's go to the points in details. Now in this figure it shows that the urban rural sex composition and of selective countries, as I have shown you. The rural and urban difference in sex ratio is in Canada and West Europe like Finland are just the opposite of those of African and Asian countries like Zimbabwe and Nepal respectively. In Western countries, male outnumber females in rural areas, as I have told you all. Females outnumber the males in urban areas. So female is outnumbering in urban areas and male is outnumbering in the rural areas. In countries like Nepal, Pakistan, India, the case is reverse, as I have showed you in Nepal and Zimbabwe. Okay, the excess of females in the urban areas of USA, Canada and Europe is a result of influx of female from the rural areas to avail to the vast job opportunities. So the females are getting vast job opportunities in Canada, in the Western world, Western countries. So they are going to the urban areas and working, and males are working in the rural areas. Okay. Farming is thus the developed countries is highly mechanized and largely on male occupation. It's largely a male occupation in the Western countries. By contrast, the sex ratio in Asian countries remain male dominated due to the predominance of male migration. So by contrast, in the Asian urban areas, it remains a male dominated due to predominance of the male migration. It is also worth nothing that in countries like India, female participation in farming activities in rural areas is fairly higher. So female participation in rural areas or farming activities is very much higher in the Asian countries. Shortage of it is also worth noting like the females participation in the farming areas in rural area is relatively high, and shortage of housing, high cost of living, paucity of job opportunities and lack of security in the cities discourage women to migrate from rural to urban areas. So these are the shortcomings of the females that are facing who are going to the urban areas. So they are staying in the rural areas and working in the farms, and their males are or husbands are going in the urban areas and working for their livelihood or for their families. Okay, this was the basic criteria of or difference between the Western world and the Asian world, or you can say that the males are outnumbering in rural areas in the Western world, and the vice versa case is in the Asian world or in the Asian countries or African countries. Okay, so here goes the difference, the rural urban composition. Then comes a point, that is literacy. Now, the proportion of literate population of a country is an indicator of socio-economic development, as it reveals the standard of living, social status of the female, availability of the educational facilities and policies of the government. So, it is determining the socio-economic condition of a individual or the country. The level of the economic development is both a cause and consequence of literacy. So, the level of the development based is on the literacy. So, in India, the literacy rate denotes a percentage of the population above 7 years of age who is able to read, write and have the ability to do arithmetic calculations with understanding is the person that is literate. So, it is the basic criteria of India. Okay. So, there goes the point, literacy. Then comes a point, that is occupational structure. Now, the working population, that is the woman and the men in the age group of 15 to 59 age group, takes various occupations like agriculture, forestry, then it takes fishing, manufacturing, construction, commercial transport, services, communication and other classified, unclassified jobs. Okay. Now, agriculture, forestry, fishing, mining classified as primary activities, manufacturing as secondary activities, and tertiary, transport, communication and other services as tertiary, and the jobs related to research, developing ideas are the quaternary activities. Okay. So, the proportion of the working population engaged in this four sector is a good indicator of level of development of the nation. So, the proportion of people in this four sector indicates the development of the people, and this is because only a developed economy with industry and infrastructure can accommodate more workers in the secondary, tertiary and quaternary sector. So, in the developed economy, the industry, infrastructure accommodate more workers in the tertiary and quaternary sectors, also in the secondary sectors. So, there is more employment, and if the economy is still in the primitive ages, then the proportion of people in the primary activities would be involved in the extraction of the natural resources. So, if it is a primitive population, then the population will be focusing on the primitive activities, mining and now fishing, and that as the primitive activities. So, they would be extracting the resources and sending it to the markets for the for their livelihood. They would sell it in the market and thus acquire their livelihood accordingly. So, these are the four the activities like primary, secondary, tertiary and quaternary. Then comes the quinary also, we will study in the next chapter. So, this was a category of the occupational structure. So, I hope you have understood the concept of the occupational structure, literacy, difference between the rural and the urban composition. So, thank you students.